Well, I'm going to go out on a limb with all of you and begin my talk by telling all of you in San Francisco, this wonderful group of people, that the world has changed. I'm risking, I know, because half of you will fall asleep. The reason that half of the people in San Francisco fall asleep if you say that the world has changed is because they say, I know. The other half of people I know just get angry a little bit. And if you start asking them why are you getting angry? What's going on? Why is it so different? Why is your reaction so different? They usually say to you, damn it, I just bought a new Apple product, and I took it home, and I unboxed it, and then I read the news that the world has changed, and they have a new product for the same price, just better. Okay? If I was to predict the future, there's going to be a third group of people pretty soon. They're not going to be falling asleep. They're not going to be angry. They're going to be very angry. And my prediction is those are going to be the ones that will buy the $17,000 version of the Apple Watch. Yeah, because they're going to go home and box that $17,000 Apple Watch, and then Apple will tell them that the world has changed, and they will be very angry, those people. Anyway, please bear with me for a little bit, because I promise to you that I will take you on my own journey of why the world has changed and still continues to change. And it will be very different, not like the journey that you've ever had before. So don't fall asleep, don't get angry, just listen up. Let's start with some facts. 25 billion gigabytes. What does that mean? Does anyone know? I asked my grandma. She has no idea. But she did say to me, I think that's a lot. And I said, Grandma, how do you know that's a lot? And then she said to me, Maksim, I understand 25 billion. Anybody can guess what this is? This is the amount of new information that's being generated every day. 25 billion gigabytes of new information is being generated every day. When you like a post on Facebook, when you have a conversation, when you have a phone conversation, we heard NSA was listening, when you create a new social media post, when you write an email, when you have any customer interaction, when you engage with a solution, when you buy a new product, 25 billion gigabytes of new data is generated every day. I think that's amazing. And if you look at the channels of sort of where it's coming from, sure, new mobile devices, mobile data, social networks, those are all kind of known to us. But now we're also hearing that there are new channels. For example, in science and medicine, number of genes sequenced has increased exponentially. Certainly, big addition to 25 billion gigabytes of new data that's being generated every day. My point is that all of this, every single bit, is relevant to your customer data. Just think about it. We live in a world where we're generating 25 billion gigabytes of relevant customer data every day. Certainly, you're all here because you believe in customer success. Certainly, that probably means that you believe in using data and insights to managing customer success. So, how do we solve this problem? The interesting part, and I'm sort of kind of going to layer different facts on top of this, 90% of everything we know, all the information that's available on the web now, has only been generated in the last 2 years. So many of you have probably been sitting in a room much like this, say 5 years ago, and someone like myself got up on stage and told you, there is a huge amount of data out there, and you said, wow. And now I am telling you that that was only 10% of what's available now. 90% of all information that we know has been generated in the last 2 years. An interesting part about when it comes to customer success, the most relevant component of data for your customers is recent. Let's think about why. Do we care that somebody made a purchase 10 months ago more than we care about that same person submitting 10 tickets yesterday and not getting a response? Or do we care that somebody gave you a fantastic interview for a press release that you were having for the launch of your solution, and then they told you that your product no longer meets their needs. Most of the interesting, relevant, actionable customer information is very recent. So let me recap. 25 billion gigabytes of new data every day. 90% of everything we know has been generated in the last 2 years. And most important customer data is recent. So the changing world that I want to talk to you about is the world where you know less and less about your customers because you're simply not able to absorb this data. You're not able to index it, you're not able to repurpose it, you are able to report on it, but your report will look very big. And we're going to talk about that issue, right? You're not able to put it into the business process. You're not able to act on it. This data is not useful to you. I've been joking the other day. I said that, I don't think that we live in knowledge economy anymore because I think we have to be creative about what we know. We just can't know all these facts, right? We just can't absorb. We can't keep up. Just think about it. You're here at a conference, and I think we're holding you even because otherwise you have been getting dumber and dumber about your customers because all this data has been generating and generating and generating. So how do we solve this problem? I was talking to a nephew of mine who's only 6, and I was explaining a different problem to him. I said, I have a real hard time fueling a car in San Francisco. And those of you who are familiar with this issue, the reason for that, especially in the last 2 years, is because real estate developers bought all the gas stations, demolished them, and built amazing apartments and sold them for a lot of money. So I have a real problem. I cannot fuel my car. I have to go outside the city almost. My nephew looked at me and I said, how do I solve this problem? And he looked at me and said, maybe build an app? It's in our DNA here in San Francisco, right? Apps are in our DNA. Technology is in our DNA. How do we solve a problem when there's a huge amount of data that we can't make sense of, that we know is useful to us because all of it is about our customers? We have to solve this problem with building something that's meaningful, that can help our efficiency. Technology is the answer to this question. Thanks to Amanda's introduction, I appreciate it. I have been building products all of my life. So for me, when I think about how do I solve a problem with something like this, I have to sort of lay out what are the important components, right? What are key principles that I will not be willing to give up on when I build this kind of solution? And I came up with a few, and I want to talk to you about them. For example, I think that the technology that we build should be helpful for us to never be defensive with customers. What does that mean? Give me the right amount of insights and information that's actionable at the right time so that when I have the customer interaction, I'm fully prepared for it. I can act on it. I can make the difference. I can move, I use this a lot. I can move the needle on customer success. I think we should build the kind of technology that can help us reinvent our businesses. That can be dangerous because reinvent our businesses has been used a lot as well. And so, this is not one of those cliches that I just want to mention here, right? I think that we should build the kind of customer success technology that can help you reinvent the business because I believe that the only meaningful way to reinvent the business is around the customer, is around having feedback, is around having understanding of what they're doing, what they're not doing, right? Building your business and not doing that around the customer is a big mistake. I feel that we should build the kind of technology that can help us relate to customers. This is interesting. We're starting to get to these human characteristics, right? We want to build human relationships with our customers just as well as technology relationships with them, right? Or services or whatever it is you offer to them, right? Relating to our customers is really key. How can this kind of technology give us insights, true insights, not just data, and we'll talk about this difference in a second, true insights that can help us build relationships? And we'll talk about why that's not a customer relationship system. How can we build the kind of technology, and this is my favorite, that can help the customer tell me at any time in our interaction with them, you had me at hello. This is the kind of technology that we need for the future of customer success. Something that's wiser, more beautiful, more helpful, better, all of these things, right? New generation, next-gen stuff that can really be helpful to us. Well, how do we do it? Let's talk about how do we build. If we agree that these are the key pivotal ways to build this kind of technology, how do we build this? One of the ways to extend your IT stack is to extend the CRM. Certainly, the modern CRM has been built to be extended. So why not? You already own it. You already log into it. You already pay for it. You're already trained on it. You already have an admin who's responsible for extending it. So why not extend it? Well, let's just think this through, right? We said that the tools that can be helpful to us are wiser, better, more beautiful, faster. What are the examples of those tools in the enterprise? Let's just look at what are the examples of those tools in the enterprise, and then let's decide whether extending the CRM is the right path here. Zendesk for customer support, Optimizely for customer experiences, LinkedIn for recruiting. None of these tools are extensions of the CRM. None of them are. The reason that they're not extensions of CRM is because they're solving a data problem, not account management problem. Believe it or not, what you love about Zendesk is the fact that it can give you the right data, process your data in the right way, in the right time, and offer it to you to improve your customer success process. What you love about LinkedIn is not that it follows some recruiting process. Actually, it's probably what you don't want it to do at all. What you love about it is that it can solve your data problem. It can data mine, index, and surface to you relevant people that are helpful in your hiring needs. So what we're solving here, the same with customer success, right? We started by saying that what we really have here is a huge data problem, huge data problem. We're not able to absorb this much information. So why, if we have so many good examples of data companies that were not able to extend the CRM to solve these kind of problems, why would we even consider doing that? I will go a little bit further and talk to you a little bit about what does it mean to manage data in a CRM. And I don't know how many of you here are technologists, so I promise, bear with me for 1 minute. I'll just explain it, okay? This is, by the way, exactly what my engineering team tells me when I call them and I say, why is this not working like that? And sometimes the first thing I hear is, well, it's a technical answer. And I'm like, give it to me. Okay. So CRMs are built on what's called relational databases. Okay, and this is the most technical that I will get. Relational databases are very good at putting a lot of data in and then getting a lot of that same data out. Well, if that's how we were to solve a problem with customer success, we will end up with 100,000-page daily report that we will have to review, because CRM is data in, data out, right? This is what lead generation is. This is what account management is. A human being types data into the CRM, and the CRM reports on it in a very powerful way. Reports on it, doesn't offer insights about it, doesn't calculate metrics meaningful to the workflow in it, simply reports back on it. So, CRM is not a customer success destination. CRM is, at best, the sales productivity destination. And I hope all these examples that you see around you are good examples of why data companies, companies that solve business problems using data, chose not to do so by extending the CRM. So then you should, I haven't yet reached, okay, what is the right way to do it? So far, I've just mentioned don't do this and don't do that, but I definitely want you to walk away with something to do. So I'm going to go to the next slide. And solution that we build and that we advocate for and that we feel is really helpful and really visionary and will transform the future is the one that can listen, understand, and engage with your customers. Let's dissect this one by one. Let's understand, what does it mean to listen? See, listening is not the same as collecting data. Listening can be even very difficult for human beings. Frequently, we get feedback that we're either good or bad listeners. What does this mean? A good listener in a conversation can comprehend important things, let's call them events for the purposes of this conversation, understand them and put them in the right place in the brain so that they can be acted on and reused or transferred to another person. Listening is very different than simply collecting a bunch of data and putting it in a database table so that you can report on it later. I really want you to take this home, right? I really want to hone this in. Listening is a modern data platform that will, for example, understand the engagement of your customers. What are they doing in the application? They will listen for things, and they will understand, okay, I don't really care if someone moves a mouse, but I do care if someone moved the mouse to a button that they were not able to click. This is not simply data gathering. This is listening for important events that can really move the needle on your customer health. Listening means not only listening to one channel, right? The right kind of listening is listening to everything that's important. And we're so lucky here in customer success because everything is important. So we also believe in building the kind of tools that can allow you to connect, to listen to any channel. CRM data, important to listening. Marketing data, important to listening. Your app, you see it right in the middle. This is a big deal for us. We believe that the way that your users are engaging with your application, what they're doing, what they're not doing, can be super helpful to your customer success, super helpful to your marketing. Can you imagine being able to, in a very targeted way, to reach out to customers who have not yet used some of the new features in a very intelligent way and genuinely help them, right? Don't just send a marketing campaign to everybody who didn't unsubscribe. Send the marketing campaign to people whom it's really relevant to. So your app and listening to channels of customer success within the app are super important. You also see other enterprise components in there, right? So what we believe in is the ability to listen to entirety of your customer health signals, most total picture of your customer health signals, and then allowing you to understand it. And that's why the second part here, right? So let's talk a little bit about that. After we've listened, what is understanding? Well, I certainly don't want to continue running reports. I don't want to continue looking at dashboards. I need a way to convert my data into insights. And I think, like as every developing industry, we are the industry that is right now developing our own metric language. And we need the kind of data platform that can help us take all the data, all the information, and convert it so that we can understand it in a way that's metric-driven, in the way that can help us use it in meetings and business processes, in the way that it can be handed to actual customer success folks in your organization and acted upon. Understanding is not the same as simply searching, right? You don't really understand by searching. Understanding is almost the opposite. The application needs to serve to you important pieces of insights, alerts, information that can help you run your day. We really believe in that, right? We don't believe in just giving you the data and saying, do whatever you want. Search for it in any way you want. Report on it in any way you want. We believe that we need to build a metric language. We need to allow you to surface this information that can, in this case, for example, help you look at your customer health across different segments. Understand which part of your accounts is red. Pay attention to those first, right? Understand the data as it really relates to customer success. Don't just retrieve it. Don't just search for it. That's really important. The last part is my favorite, and it's the action part, right? Guy in the morning was saying, have you ever had an 11-year-old that came to you as a parent and said, you know, Mom, I want to be a manager? I don't think so. I think that's boring, right? So I think somewhere all of us have taken a wrong turn. okay? What those kids want is they want action. They want to engage. They want to be action figures. That's why we have a big red action figure right in front there, right? They want to be on the front lines of action. They want to do things that are meaningful that will, I'll say this again, move the needle on customer success, right? Don't make me a manager. I want to feel like I'm part of this amazing action. So engaging is a very, very, very important part here. Engaging, in this case, is converting insights into action, right? It's not enough for me to listen to all the signals of customer health, which was the first foundational component. It is not enough for me to understand them. The bottom line is I need to act, I need to engage. And I am so happy. We are the first technology provider in customer success industry that has built a mobile way to engage. And the app is available in the App Store as of last week, so please download it. If you're a customer and if you have an iPhone, we're going to follow up with an Android app in a few months. But what we've done here is a few things. We serve insights to you, and literally with one click, we allow you to deploy the whole company around this initiative. As a CEO, this would be my really awesome dashboard. This will be the awesomest of all dashboards that I have in the company, because I can wake up and I can come here and I can sit here and literally deploy my company around my customer success experiences. What can be better than that? Well, the better than that is if I have a good VP of customer success. But until I do, I'm going to log in and do this, right, for my organization. But we're also very proud to be delivering these mobile solutions. I was thinking about this, my expectation almost is that new emerging enterprise technologies would be super awesome with mobile. They would always be mobile first. In our industry, it's mobile last. So I wanted to change this. I said, we are going to be mobile first, and we're going to build a mobile tool, put it in the hands of customers so that they can understand their customer health on the go. They can have engaging conversations with everyone, and they don't have to be connected to their laptop. They don't have to be tied to their desk. We know that is not customer success. Listen, understand, engage. I was talking about this to a mentor of mine yesterday, and she looked at this part of the presentation, and her feedback to me was, interesting. Listen, understand, engage are human characteristics. You can always get up in the front of university freshmen and begin your talk by telling them to listen, understand, engage, and they will interpret it as a way to live their life on campus for the next 4 years. Yet this is the kind of software that we're building, human software that can understand big data, listen to all the signals of customer health, and help you engage. And that's exactly the kind of technology that will help you lead the way in customer success. Thank you very much.